So this cathedral really says a lot about the history of Kazakhstan. So first, here are a few basic facts. Although there was a brief period of autonomy during the tumultuous period following the collapse of the Russian Empire, the Kazakhs eventually succumbed to Soviet rule. In 1920, the area of present-day Kazakhstan became an autonomous republic within Russia, and in 1936, a Soviet republic. Now, a brief history of Islam in Kazakhstan. The presence of Islam in the territory of Kazakhstan dates back to the 10th century Karakhanids, a fiefdom that ruled Central Asia from the 10th to the 13th century. Now, the Ascension Cathedral, also known as Zenkov Cathedral, this one here, is a Russian Orthodox cathedral located in Panfilov Park in Almaty, completed in 1907. So in other words, this was built before Kazakhstan became Soviet, before the Soviet Union in general. So this church was built when religion was allowed, and then the Soviet Union formed, religion was banned, but at least they didn't destroy it. I'm not, all that clear on the extent to which religion was banned and also attempted to be eradicated as far as taking down buildings. I don't know at all if that happened, or if they were just kind of closed and then not allowed to be used for worship or what, but this is just so Russian looking. This would be right in place in Moscow. Looks like we can go inside. Wow. Man, it's amazing. All right, so I am getting hungry for some lunch. Let's do a little more walking around. Also, I have a couple of other places in mind to visit that are nearby, I believe. Let's find out. And find a nice, cozy, preferably local cuisine restaurant. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the history in general, which I know very, very little about. But the ethnic makeup of Kazakhstan is 70% ethnic Kazakhs and 15% Russians. The religious demographics are 70% Islam and 17% Christian. So obviously those numbers correspond. The ethnically Kazakh people being predominantly Muslim, and then the Russians being Christian. So as you walk around the city here, then you see that. It is just blindingly obvious. Looks Soviet to me. That there are the more Asian looking people and the more Caucasian European looking people. Because of, as I read there, both the Soviet presence as well as Russian Empire prior to that. So there's a lot of history there. But what I wanted to mention is that after the Soviet Union collapsed and broke into 15 different countries, Russia and then 14 other ex-Soviet countries, Kazakhstan and all of the stands, well, not all of the stands, but most of the stands nearby here, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and then the Caucasus, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Moldova, etc. Then people might be inclined to believe that the Soviet Union retreated into the more natural borders of Russia, so that what Russia is now is kind of more like, you know, the real original Russia, something like that. But that is totally not true. So there's a reason why there is a stark difference in the appearance of the Kazakh people and the Russians, because so the original Russia, to whatever extent you can actually say that, was a much, much smaller country just in the West, in Europe, which expanded and expanded and expanded and expanded to encompass, you know, all of Northern Asia. But there are more Asian people all along there. So there are all these different ethnic groups, different languages, cultures that are totally different from Russian within the current Russian Federation, the country of Russia today. And so Russia today is not some, you know, kind of homogenous Russian country. It is still, to a great extent, what it was before, of encompassing all these different cultures within its borders. It just got substantially smaller, but of course it's still massive. But for example, for my senior thesis, I have a BA in World Religions, and my last semester at Humboldt State University in Northern California, then we had to pick a topic for our senior thesis, a long paper, and I chose the religion of Tuva. So most people probably have not heard of Tuva. Tuva is kind of Mongolian, but it is this small region that is within present-day Russia. The reason that I chose Tuva was because of Paul Pena. Now, most of you will not know who Paul Pena was. However, many of you will know one of his songs that he wrote, Big Old Jet Airliner. If you're thinking, no, that's a Steve Miller Band song, yes, you're right. But it was written by Paul Pena, a blind blues musician who lived in San Francisco, California, wrote the song, sold it to the Steve Miller Band, And he actually lived the rest of his life surviving off of the royalties from that one song because he was blind and couldn't work. But a documentary movie was made about him, specifically about his invitation to participate in a throat singing contest in Tuva. Now that's a whole story of its own, how that happened, and that is what the movie is about. Basically, he was a singer, came across this throat singing from Central Asia randomly on the radio, started practicing it, and then somehow word got to people in Central Asia that this American blues musician was a throat singer, and so they invited him to participate in their contest. And so the movie follows his journey to Tuva and then participating in the contest. And so I had seen this movie, I had the soundtrack, really good soundtrack, and for some reason I decided, okay, I'm going to study the religion of Tuva for my senior thesis. And so they are Central Asian people. The religion is a mix of Buddhism and more indigenous, kind of pagan-like beliefs. But the people of Tuva are not Russian. They are Russian because they're within the Russian Federation, but all throughout much of Russia, then, the people are a very distinct culture from Moscow and Western Russia. And that was the case here in Kazakhstan. But of course, once the Soviet Union collapsed, then not all of the Russian people left here. So that's the deal with the different people here in Kazakhstan. Of course, there are other nationalities, cultures, etc. here as well, but those are the two main people here, the local Kazakhs and the Russians. Okay, I'm going to look on my phone, see what else there was to see, and find a restaurant soon. I'm getting hungry. So there's the Green Bazaar, which is actually back towards the cathedral, just a few minutes away from there. About a 10-minute walk from here. Maybe that will be a good place to get some local food. Interesting tank thing there. Not sure what's going on. It's like just the front of the tank, the gun. And it looks like this must be the Green Bazaar. A lot going on here. Currency exchange. I need to get some more cash actually, but from an ATM. Something underground. Lots of good smells. Smells like bread right now. All right, this is the real deal. Full-on market action. Fresh fruits and veggies, nuts, dried fruit, but not looking for fresh fruit or dried fruit for lunch. Where's the hot stuff? Man, this bazaar is just massive. Okay, I'm seeing people eating up there. Whoa. Oh man. This is the bazaar to end all bazaars. Hello. Ah, fresh juice.
Fresh juice.
Yes. One.
1,500.
Okay. 2,000.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, that's right. President. Yeah. Okay. I take, yep, 1, 2. Oh. 1 is 1,500. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So, I don't know, guys. That's $3. Pomegranate juice can be expensive a lot of places around the world, so it is what it is. I wanted to get the orange pomegranate mix going. I don't know. I just decided I'll just go with the pomegranate for now. Okay, we got the meat section. I'm seeing images of food up there. Whoa, the smell here is overpowering. Raw meat. Let's give this a try. All right, what's the deal? I want some of that. Maybe it's closed because it's like 3:30 in the afternoon. 3:40. Huh. That's really weird because I saw people sitting up here and now they've disappeared. Or maybe it was over there. So, this one is in fact open. There was a menu there with pictures, very small pictures, so I just pointed at one that looks good. We'll see what I get. Let's try the pomegranate. That was good. The food that I ordered is actually less than the pomegranate juice. This was $1,500. That is $3. The plate of food is $1,400, which is also about $3. That was literally 5 seconds after the last clip stopped. They were quick. It took about 2 minutes to get this to me. And piping hot. That looks good. Noodles, meat, veggies, some herbs, onions. All right. All right, guys, that is going to do it for Almaty. Hopefully this opened people's eyes to this city. Definitely a lot more interesting than what I showed in my previous videos around my neighborhood. Looks like this is definitely the area to stay as a tourist and have closer access to the bazaar and other sites. There are, of course, more places to see in the city. It is huge, but it isn't jam-packed with must-see sites from what I have found online, but still very interesting to see what it's like here, see the people. have some tasty food, experience the bustling bazaars, see the beautiful architecture of the churches, etc. So far, so good for Kazakhstan, but I have another 5 days, so I don't know what the plan is yet for tomorrow. I am figuring that out. I called a rental car company this morning and they didn't speak any English, so my best bet might be to go back to the airport and rent a car there, also because I want to return the car at the airport the day that I fly out. Especially because apparently there is a protest on October 25th in Almaty against the government. That is the day that I fly out, so I definitely don't want to be in the city on that day in case things get a little crazy. So tomorrow is another day. Something will happen. See ya.